Basic Math, Chapter 7, Section 6, Comparing Fractions. You can compare like and unlike fractions. 5/8, 3/8. 5/8 is greater than 3/8. If the fractions are like fractions, compare the numerators. 5 is greater than 3. For example, compare 5/8 and 3/8. Use the less than, greater than, or equal to sign. Step 1, are the fractions like? Yes, they both have 8. Step 2, compare the numerators. 5 is greater than 3. Step 3, write the fractions in the same order. 5/8 is greater than 3/8. The fractions 5/8 is greater than the fraction 3/8. To compare unlike fractions, you first need to change the fractions to like fractions. So compare 5/8 and 5/6. Use less than, greater than, or equal to. Step 1, are the fractions like fractions? No. Step 2, change the fractions to like fractions. Use the common denominator 24. So to change 5/8 to 24, multiply the numerator and denominator by 3. That gives you 15 over 24. To get 5/6 to have a denominator of 24, it takes 4 sixes. So multiply the numerator by 4 to get 20. So 20 over 24. Now compare the fractions. 15 is less than 20. Step 4, rewrite the given fractions. Back to the original. 5/8 is less than 5/6. Keeping the same order. The fraction 5/8 is less than the fraction 5/6. All right, practice A has like fractions. So we can see the denominators are all the same. So that's step 1. And then we can compare the numerators since we have all the same denominators. 3 and 7, and that will show us that 3/8 is less than 7/8. 5/12 and 5/12 is equal. 7/9 is greater than 5/9. 5/5 or 5/5 is greater than 4/5. 9/10 is the same as 9/10. 2/7 is less than 3/7. 11/12 is greater than 7/12. 1/3 is the same or equal to 1/3. 1/4 is less than 3/4. So once they're like fractions, we just can check the numerators for comparison. For practice B, we have to change the fractions to like fractions. Then we can compare each of the fractions with the greater than, less than, or equal to symbol. For 10, we have 2/8 and 1/4. Since 8 is a multiple of 4ths, I can leave the 8 by how it is, and I can turn 1/4 into a fraction with 8 as the denominator, and it takes 2 4s to get to 8. So we're multiplying by 2. So the new fraction is 2/8. eighths. So 2/8 is equal to 2/8. 2/8 is equal to 1/4 then. For number 11, we have 8 and 5. So we could do 40. I believe we've got 8, 16, 24, 32. So the first multiple of 8 that gives us a number that ends in 0 or 5 is 40. And any number that ends with 0 or 5 is a multiple of 5. So we have to turn both of these into fractions with denominators of 40. So to get to 40, it takes 5/8, and it'll take 8/5. So we have to multiply 5/8 by 5 and 4/5 by 8 for the numerator and denominator. The new fraction will be 25 over 40 and 32 over 40. So 25 is less than 32. Let's try one more. So for number 12, we have 1/3 and 4/15. 1 over 3 and 4 over 15. So here we have 15. 15 is the first multiple of 15. 3 can go into 15 5 times. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So we don't need to change the 15, but we need to change the third, the 3. How many 3's to get to 15? 5 of them. So change the top by 5 as well. 1 times 5 is 5. 3 times 5 is 15. So now 5/15 is greater than 4/15. Sometimes you can pair fractions in everyday situations. Maura hiked 3/4 mile, Jan hiked 3/8 mile. Who hiked further? So which one was greater or less, or is it equal to? So we can make them into equal fractions. 3/4 and 3/8. Well, 4 and 8 have the least common multiple of 8. It takes 2 4's to get to 8. So 3/4 is greater than 3/8. So Maura hiked farther. So those are some practice for that. So go ahead and pause this if you'd like to try 2 and 3, or we could use them for additional help if you'd like more help. But please give your workbook practice a try for Chapter 7, Section 6, and let me know if you have questions. Thank you very much.